actually doing some research on you, Miss
Oh,
Bradford.
wow.
And I use Copilot off of the internet to actually kind of pull up a biography. Would you like to know what it says about you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
You know
it
I
said,
met you before, right? You know I have pictures with you, right?
mm-hmm, I
Oh,
do.
okay.
I was like, yeah, she's finally on my show. I love that. I do. I
And I
love
just
it.
got nominated by Miss Di for an Arthur Award this year.
Hmm.
I was
I
like,
love
oh,
her.
mm,
Yes.
mm, mm.
Just because what you're doing matters. That's why you're getting recognized for it. So that's a beautiful
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you
Hmm.
so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it wholeheartedly.
So this is what it says. It says Mirada Bradford shares her journey of self-expression and empowerment through poetry and public speaking. She hosts content and podcast episodes that explore topics of personal growth, finding your voice, and embracing your true self. Through platforms like YouTube and TikTok, she provides inspiration and encouragement, particularly targeting individuals facing challenging life experiences. She describes herself as a single mother of two who seeks to motivate and support others using her personal experiences. That is what the first paragraph says. And I was like, that girl, man, that girl,
Wow.
you are that girl.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just giving glory to God because, and that's what I want women to know. That's what I want teenagers to know. That's what I want young girls to know, that you're not what happened to you, but you are who God says you are. And the world going to stone you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to name you. They're going to blame you. But once you know who you are in God, He's
Mhm.
the Redeemer. And I stand on it. And I'm here today because whether you know it or not, when I just clicked on your page, I seen the scripture you had, which was Joel 2 and 25. And I
Mhm.
wrote that down. And it says, God restores the years you thought were wasted. Nothing
Mhm.
is lost with God. He can turn delay into destiny and rebuild what you thought was gone forever. And that's what I thought. But that's what brings me here today. Because I thought that since my innocence was taken, I thought since I was born deceased, I thought
Mhm.
since I was a rape victim, I thought since I was molested, I thought since because I was beat in domestic violence, I thought since I miscarried, you know, I thought all those things was gone and neither one of them was a fault of me. So I would just want to say thank you for the scripture, which gives me clarity that He's going to give everything back to me that was taken, that was stolen, that was manipulated, you know, and I still want to give Him praise and still give Him glory because when I saw that, God said, write that down. And it was just like a voila moment. Like, from where you come from to this is your now, just know nothing you've done or went through is wasted.
Mhm.
And just because it's delayed, this does not mean it's denied. But as you keep going, I will rebuild you, I will redeem you, I will restore you. And that's
Mhm.
just where I'm at. And so I tell people, please don't confuse my tears. They're not tears of sadness. They're tears of joy. They're tears of freedom. They're tears of survival because I survived everything that's meant to kill me. Please don't take it lightly. And some
Mhm.
people confuse that because you drop a tear. They confuse that because you get emotional. But even being born deceased, before I was even born into this world, and still to be here in 45 years,
Mhm.
I know there's a God. And I,
There is
I
a God.
thank Him. I thank Him.
Mhm. I do too, girl. Like, you know what? Like, we're having this conversation because we sisters, okay? We both
Amen.
experience trauma. I'm a trauma survivor myself, and that's why I have my
Yes.
little moments with Ray J podcast. I have that one too. So it's a little moments with Ray
Wow.
J podcast where I share enlightenment about trauma healing. I also have a TikTok devoted to trauma healing because the things that were meant to hurt us that we thought were going to break us are actually catalysts for our survival, for us, going and continuing doing what we're doing, turning our pain into purpose, girlfriend. Okay.
Amen.
And I did a class about that yesterday. The first one was overcoming betrayal, which I think that's the one
Ooh,
topic that a lot of people don't talk about. And then the second
right.
one was turning your pain into purpose. And I have notes for both of them. So if you want both of
Yes,
them, I could share those notes with you.
yes, please.
Yes,
Because
because it
I turned over a new leaf. This young lady named Floricita. Um, I think her last name is LaFleur. But if I'm not correct, I apologize. But she had prophesied to me and she said God said go into the juvenile center.
mm-hmm,
Go into the centers where there are girls that were raised like you. There were are girls that have been through some of the things. And I feel like, God saved me. Did nobody come back to save me? No daddy, no one. So therefore, I just ask God to bless me to be able to go back and be able to talk to them girls, steer those girls in a positive direction, put those girls on the right track. Because again, they're not what happened to them. Some of them acting out of lack, some of them acting out of abandonment, some of them acting out of, not having what they need at home and they turn into other things. So I just ask God, to just continue to open doors for me to be able to volunteer and speak to these young ladies, to be able to, give them insight on, you know, it does take a village. But what do you do when your village let you down? What do you do when your village not there? And that was my thing. I didn't have no village. And so therefore I suffered.
mm-hmm,
And in my suffering, by not having a village, it led to depression. It led to anxiety because, again, what happened in this house stays in this house. I
mm-hmm,
feel like those were the worst words anybody could have ever said. Because at the
mm-hmm,
end of the day, that's what I'm saying. There is no outlet for that trauma. If you got to suppress and keep within yourself, what happened in the house stays in the house, or the monster lives in the house.
mm-hmm,
What happened to those kids? Where, where are the empathy for those kids? Where are the sympathy for those kids? And we don't get that. Even as child survivors, we don't get that. Then
mm-hmm,
to be able to try to turn those inner emotions over to something
mm-hmm,
positive, that takes work. That takes work beyond yourself. And I just thank God that I found God, because if not, yes, I would have been one of those one that, yeah, would have lost my mind, because again, like I said, there's no outlet. And, and
mm-hmm,
and then you're not able to just go to anybody express what you're going through, or express what you're feeling, or express, how you feel, because there go the shame, there go the rejection, there go I don't believe you, there go I told you so.
mm-hmm,
But instead, those kids need hugs. Those kids need love. Those kids need a different way out. Those kids need someone they can trust. Those kids need a safe haven. Those kids need workshops, and those kids need um different tools to be able to help them to not only turn over a new leaf, but not only to get past survival mode, but to be able to pick up the pieces, maybe it's pieces they never had, not even having a
yes,
father, be able to pick those pieces up and become whole. Some of them never was whole. I was
mm-hmm,
born deceased to a 14-year-old girl.
mm-hmm,
So everything in the womb, the trauma, everything that she even went through, I got it straight from the womb. So I never was whole. I'm just now recognizing what happened to me. I'm just now recognizing that my innocence was gone long time ago. I'm just not recognizing that, hey, it's another side to this thing. And that
Hmm.
was drove me to write the book, The Scars Over Concrete Roads, because they're not wounds no more.
Right. I
Man,
think I think that's like the most powerful statement you can say whenever you're not speaking from the open wounds anymore. You're speaking from the scars. I mean, look at the scars. The scars are proof that you've been there, done that. Like it's been over. It's in the past. But you
boy,
survived. You are the one that's keeping pushing forward. You know what you've been through and you're healing. Like you healed from
right,
it. And now you got
right,
that experience. You got that empathy. So only you can talk
yeah,
about what you've been through, right?
right,
And I that's why I love what you're doing, girl, because you're putting these words into context. You're making it poetry, you're making it, relatable to people. And I'll be honest with you, like it was hard for me to actually reopen those trauma wounds. It
right,
really was. I did suppress them for a long time because I lived in survival mode for my kids for so long. I had to
right.
suppress everything I went through to survive to the next stage of motherhood. And now I'm
I
dealing with
did
it.
too.
Like, hmm
I did too. And I feel that I'm kind of coming out of it because I have an 18-year-old daughter and I have a a 13-year-old son. And my daughter daddy was abusive, survived domestic violence, was beat into labor within
hmm
the domestic violence. And and I just had to sit her down and I had to tell her, you know, even though your dad wasn't here, yes, I can say I overcompensated. Yes, I can say that. Um, yes, I bought the baby dolls. Yes, I bought the doll houses. Yes, I bought the strollers because what people fail to realize, I never had a childhood. By the time my mom was 19, it was three of us. By the time my mom was 21, it was five of us. And my mom
hmm
passed away in 2020 at 54, 55.
hmm
And so, and then not being able to raise her with a father because of the addiction and still try to, like I say, overcompensate being a mother and being a father.
hmm
And, paying all the bills, doing all the holidays and all that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, another thing I feel like people stigmatize is being strong. Like, who want to tote all that on their back? Who want to live like that? Who want to be in the struggle like that? But I do understand, yes, those were the cards I was dealt, but that's not my final destination.
hmm
When I've been strong since a kid, and that's the thing. That wasn't right. That wasn't fair. That wasn't what it's supposed to been like. But it was. And so for people to sit there and say, and keep saying, you're strong. But baby, what about when the strong is weak?
hmm
What about when the strong gets tired of being strong for so long? What about when the strong don't have a genuine support system with no judgment? What about when the strong no longer feel like they not only have a breath, but they no longer have to fight?
Yeah.
What about those people?
hmm
And we often get misjudged all because of what we've been through, and people want to so label us as, oh, you're not healed, you haven't healed enough, oh, you're still in trauma mode, oh, you're still in survival. And it's like, no, it's not none of that. It's that even though I lived through my experience, I know that it's babies, it's girls, it's boys that is falling through the cracks, and people are turning a blind eye to it. That's my
hmm
problem. Because if
hmm
we don't stand up for these babies, if we don't save these babies, yeah, you're right. How can our children be the future? Or if you got pedophiles and rapists and people like that that's looking at the babies as a delicacy, like how is it possible?
Yeah. Exactly. You got to speak out. You got to speak out. I don't think there's enough people speaking out about it, actually.
Right, because they want to keep everything hidden, swept up under the rug, and what happened in his house stays in the house. But that's the thing, you carry that trauma. Then that's what I started noticing, that not only it had started seeping outward out of the mind to where it was seeping through in the body,
Mm-hmm.
to where I would be sick, I would be hurting so
Mm-hmm.
bad because I didn't know how. How could I escape something that I was never taught to even deal with? You know, how could you escape something you was never taught to handle mentally, emotionally, physically? You know, like that takes work, and I feel like people don't give survivors enough credit
Right.
for what they've been through, for what they chose to share, for what they chose to speak out into the world. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even if we do say something, who cares? But I'm one of them ones that say, I care. I'm one of them ones that say, I see you. I hear you. And yes, you have a right to feel how you feel. Yes, your feelings are valid. But guess what? Also, you are loved and you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You're safe with me.
Mm-hmm.
You're safe. Everything is not out of anger. Everything is not out of hurt. Everything is not out of I want a pity party. No, this is out of survival. This is out all I had. This is out all I know. This is out all I've dealt with. This is out because this was the hand I was dealt. This wasn't nothing I brought on myself. This was
Mm-hmm.
something I was born into. This was not nothing I brought on myself. So who
Mm-hmm.
can you blame when a child don't have the tools? Who can you blame when they don't know how to turn their pain into purpose? Who can you blame when nobody never told them the difference? Who can you blame?
Mm-hmm. And then they blame the parents who also are living in survival mode for not parenting right.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody not raised with a big white house and a picket fence. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
not raised with a two-parent household. You know, and that's another stigma because I lost my grandma, great grandma. I lost all of them before I was like 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, my mom had a stroke of aneurysm at the age of 32. I'm in high school. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
graduate. My mom had me at 14 years old in the seventh grade. Didn't get a chance to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom had a stroke at 32. I think my grandma had a stroke at 45.
Mm-hmm.
I just made 45 this year.
Mm-hmm.
My great grandmother had cancer. My dad living with cancer right now. And
Mm-hmm.
so at the same time, you know, again, like, how do you blame them? Because at the end of the day, that little girl inside of them is trying to find a way out. That little girl still trying to escape. That little girl still trying to find peace that that happened. That little girl is still trying to find her voice, and that's why this day I refuse to be shut down. I refuse to shut up. I refuse to stop speaking my truth. I refuse to not sharing with women and young girls the signs of molestation, the signs your child been touched, the signs your child been groomed, the signs your child been raped, because those are the telltale signs that nobody's paying attention to. The mothers are getting younger. The mothers are turning up more. The mothers are dealing with men that not taking care of their children, not watching their children. Uh, you have some men that preys on single mothers, that preys on single mother household, so they can get close to the kids. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not talked about.
Yeah.
That's not talked about. But
Mm-hmm.
that is so necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, like I say, You have these men, and they know, yeah, single mama, yeah, it's just her. It's just her and those babies. Yeah, sometimes she gonna need a babysitter. Sometimes at the spur of the moment, she might have to drop them off. Sometimes, you know what, I might can come into the home, but all along have a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
Instead,
Mhm.
some of them thinking that, oh, well, maybe, yeah, your mama fine, but maybe he not looking at the mama. Maybe he looking at the daughter. Do you
Mhm.
know the signs? You know, those are things that were swept up under the rug when it came to me. So I
Mhm.
feel like it's my responsibility to say, hey, you look for this. Don't no little girl have no business having no UTI. You
Yeah.
know, don't no little girl got no business walking and twitching and acting out stuff. Don't no little girl got no business hunching on stuffed animals and want to act out stuff with other kids. These are the signs that are being missed.
Mhm. Mhm.
But nobody's listening
Yeah.
because it ain't knocked on their door, because it wasn't swept around their front door. Oh, because just because it happened to you, it won't happen to me.
Yeah.
And that's the
That's
farthest from the truth.
that's the one thing that they don't understand. It's one in two women now. And also it's gonna be one in two men. Like they talk
Yeah.
about men too, like young boys and young girls.
Right.
And I think another thing that a lot of people take for granted, it's usually somebody that the person knows that's doing it.
Exactly.
Actually,
Exactly.
99% of the time, it's a friend of the family or a family member. 95%
Correct.
of the time.
Correct. In my case, that's what it started out as.
Mhm.
And that's what it started out as. And and then it developed in something else. Um it developed into rape.
Mhm.
It developed into promiscuity.
Mhm.
It developed into prostitution.
Mhm.
Um, it developed in no self worth.
Mhm.
It developed in wasn't good enough. It developed in it doesn't matter what nobody else say. I'm too dirty to be redeemed by God. I did too much that I couldn't come back from. There's no way He would accept me. It developed in being super independent because you can't trust everybody around your kids. It
Mhm.
developed in again over exhausting yourself because you're trying to provide whichever which and ever what way that means, because you still got to make it happen, because you
Mhm.
don't have a village, you don't have the support, you don't have nobody to trust, and
Mhm.
everybody that you think you trust, you can't trust them all the time. And just because you
Mhm.
tell one and you think your secret safe, that does not mean that they don't have nobody that they can go to keep your same secret.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like it's a domino effect of things. And then, like you say, trying to come out of survival mode, trying to
Mhm.
learn a different way of life, trying to
Mhm.
learn how to be self-preserved, trying to learn to turn down old habits, trying to learn to do better, trying to learn to want to know how to do better, trying to learn how to heal, trying to learn how to keep the peace when everything is raging, trying to
Mhm.
learn to be peaceful in your process, trying to
Mhm.
learn to still navigate the thoughts when you know that you're on the path to healing, but yet and
Mhm.
still you have things that are still happening that are fresh, that may be adding salt to the wound, but yet and
Yeah.
still you still have a mind made up to say, no, this still a scar.
Mhm.
Because you won't overtake me. You won't reopen. You
Mhm.
won't follow me the rest of my life. But you will give me the way of escape by being able to help someone else overcome what was done to them. giving
Yeah.
somebody else a new pathway, a new leash, a new outlook on life, a new way of survival.
Yeah.
And this season is so different for me because I don't survive with man. Now it's time to thrive in God,
Yeah.
even when it hurts so bad. Still make the decision daily to push forward.
Yeah. Mhm. It's the best
Yes,
way,
ma'am.
girl. It's the best way,
Yes,
girl.
ma'am.
I learned to depend a whole lot less on people and a whole lot more on what God is doing in my life. And I always keep praying. I know that with trauma healing, it's a
Right,
lifetime journey. It is a lot of people have asked me, they're like, how long is my healing process going to take? And I told them it's not about how long it's going to take. There's no finish line to healing.
right.
Healing, it's going to be a lifelong journey. It's just every time you think about the stuff that happened to you when you start your healing process, every time it comes back up because it sneaks back up. You and I have
Yes,
experienced that.
yes,
Um, it just hits different. Like it
yeah,
used to hit really hard, and it
yes,
used to have like this detrimental effect on you. But when you start healing, you feel it, but you call it
yes,
out. You call it
yes.
out. You tell it doesn't have any power over you anymore. So, I tell my husband, thank God he's been so supportive through my journey. Oh, I'm
Praise
thankful
God.
for him. But he recognizes that some days I just may have like a really bad day. I may just have just an emotional day, and I'll call him and I'll say, I just need you to talk to me for a minute, like get me out of my thoughts. Because
Right,
sometimes those old wounds will come back up and I'll be like, I
mhm,
know the devil ain't gonna mess with me today. So,
right.
I'll be
And that's how I was the other day. Like I just all of a sudden, like people had started calling like podcasts and different things to do portrait, and it just like I just felt this flush of just overwhelming feeling, and I'm just like and I just felt like, you know how you feel like you're drowning and you know you can't swim, but you still holding your hand up and you
mm,
got your nose and you still,
yeah.
you still raising up, you still trying to push through and you still,
Mm,
you still going because you still reaching. It just ain't nobody here to say, there go that life jacket. You know,
yeah.
there go that here, there you go. There go that raft. Here, there you go. There go that float, baby. Just come on. Just come on. Here I come. Just come on. There's nobody, doing it. But I just thank God because even in those still moments, I close my eyes and I say, God, you know where it's come from. I say, God, but I'm still holding on to you. And that's why I say this season is different. Because God say, look, I have way more for you that was taken. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep on being lukewarm. You can't keep
Hmm.
being 1 foot in and 1 foot out. No,
That part.
you got to give it all to me. And
Hmm.
people, like I tell people, like, this season I'm in, it hit different. Turning 45, it hit different.
Hmm.
Menopause, it hit different. Like
Yeah.
everything hits different. And it's like God is saying, if you want what I have for you, I don't care how scary it look. I don't care how uncertain it look. I don't care what bill is due. I don't care what you don't have enough of. If you look back, you will turn into that pillar of salt. If you look back, everything gonna be 7 times worse than what it was before. If you look back, you're gonna stumble. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall into the trap of the enemy. If you look back, it might be detrimental this time.
Yeah.
So, in other words, God said, in this season, you got to be all in.
That's it.
You got to be all in. And I just told
Mm.
God, you know what? every day. Every day I'm gonna renew my yes. I don't care what it look like. Every day I'm gonna keep pushing. Every day I'm gonna keep going because there's the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that he has my name on it, I want what he has for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just giving grace and honor and praises to him because I know without him I can't do nothing. But I know with him, anything I dream of, anything I can imagine, anything I want, it's in his hand. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on a man will throw it up in your face every day. A
Mm-hmm.
man will make you, feel like through the manipulation, through the tactics that they use, that it ain't gonna get no better than me. You still gonna need me. You still gonna have to depend on me. You ain't got no job. You still a single mother. You still da 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 da. But God said, guess what? And I've still provided. And I still made ways out of no way. And I still make sure that you have food on your table, that you have a roof over your head, that your kids have what they need. I still provide. So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Baby, take up your cross. Come
Mm-hmm.
with me. Come with me. And that's the journey that I'm on. And I'm not apologizing for
Don't
it.
apologize, girl.
I know that God got me on this journey for a reason. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy about it.
See?
Happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank him for it. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Girl, you have such a powerful testimony. I can tell it by how passionate you are about what God has called you out of. Like,
Yes.
I know, I can see it, I can feel it. I know that God is working in you. So,
Thank you. I
this
mean,
book
cause
of yours, this book of yours
um,
that you have,
yes, ma'am.
ah, do you have a couple poems in front of you like to read?
Yes, ma'am. I do. Okay. The book is called "The Scars of a Concrete Rose." Oh, it won't even show.
Gotta get closer.
Um, it's called. I don't know how this. I ain't know,
That's okay.
but it's
All
called
right.
"The Scars of a Concrete Rose," and it talks about from the cracks of life hardships, emerging a rose resilient, unbroken, and unapologetically beautiful. In his deeply moving collection, Mirada, let's say Bradford, also known as Poetic Healing, which poetic healing is transforming pain into poetry, healing one verse at a time. Um, Takes readers on a profound journey of self-discovery, healing, and empowerment through heartfelt poetry and unflinching honesty. This book explores the trials, scars, and triumphs of life, offering a solace to those who feel lost and inspiration to those yearning for growth. Each poem weaves a tapestry of resilience, encouraging readers to embrace their pain, rediscover their strength, and unlock the beauty that lies within her own scars. Whether you're on a path to healing or simply seeking the power of poetic expression, the scars of a concrete rose is a testament to the idea that even the most broken can bloom.
Mm,
So
love that.
that's what it's about. And so a poem out this book that I'm gonna read um is called one poem is called My Voice. I am the voice of sexual assault. I am the voice of rape with no reason. I am the voice of silent screams and deadly cries. I am silent, but the tears I cry are loud. I am the little girl that cries out for healing. I am the voice of the little girl that still yearns from not having a dad. Yeah, those issues still stand. Abandonment, rejection, just to name a few. I am the voice of a little girl born deceived. Life was often bad. Growing up, my voice was silenced, and I was made to remain quiet. Watching my mom being lowered in the ground, the pics are still vivid. It's natural. I can't unsee them, even in the morgue. Well, today there's a new sheriff in town, and that's me. I'm the writer of my own destiny. The power of my own words is healing the most broken parts of me. That's why I don't take poetic healing lightly. Because you have to dig within to find the peace, to break the concrete, to separate the things that no longer serve the positivity. Don't give up. Every day it's a fight. To open up your mouth and let your pain breathe light. My voice is mine, raspy, unique, hoarse, and all. Sometimes my voice would silence me to where I could not think or talk. I've learned to love me, my voice wholeheartedly. I will no longer be silenced, for the Lord I shall live and not die. My voice is a voice with heavenly sound that He gave me. My voice will help and heal nations. Silence is no longer taking over me. My voice, yeah, but no longer taking over me. I shall be the voice of healing, understanding, and truth. Listen to your inner voice, ladies. You too have that secret power in you. Let the world feel you, even with tears in your eyes. I'm no longer living in the bondage of tears. As the tears fall, I'm strong. And there is nothing wrong with me. And every day I fight. I fight to be me. I fight to be free. My voice is me. I am the voice of the abused.
I love that. I love that. Snaps. I'm gonna give you snaps, girl. I love that. That's it. I love
This
that.
one is called A Rose is Still a Rose.
Mhm.
Whether it's blooming or it's in its growing stage, we all have to grow at one pace. A rose is still a rose, regardless if it gets picked. Sometimes in life you're liable to get broken, but the key is to never give in or give up. A rose is still a rose, no matter the weather. Sometimes you'll get a bud, bulb, or bloom, but with your growth getting stunted, you can't be shown. Hidden in the dirt, a rose is still a rose. Whether you cry hurtful tears, a rose is still a rose. Whether or not you conquer your fears, a rose is still a rose without direction or character. A rose is still a rose, even if it needs water or breaks due to fractures. Elements of surprise, burst, new growth. A rose is still a rose that needs God and sunlight to bloom. A rose is still a rose, reawakened, realigned, and restored. When you cry tears with your eyes closed to have room to heal and grow. A rose is still a rose when you search your soul and feel your pain. Know you are challenged. Know you have challenged yourself to grow. A rose is still a rose in the rain. It plants, it lives. I can break through the soils, the cracks, and grow through the concrete, thorns, sharp and all. A rose is still a rose. Possibilities, peace, and purpose awaits her and requires transition with courage, also with the breaking of the soul that requires you to emerge with the beautiful scars of a rose that was built through resilience and restored. My scars made me who I am. I take pride in everything I've been through. No apologies accepted. Thank you, Lord. I am the scar of the concrete rose that is left within the existence of my soul.
I love that, girl. I love that. Oh my goodness. I want to get a copy of your book. I want to get it. So for
Yes,
our viewers
ma'am.
out there, where can we get this book?
It's all well now. It's on Amazon.com and it's also on Lulu.com. Um, I'm just praying for God to give me the direction and even the people to be able to help me. I would love to get it in stores. I would
Mm,
love to get it in Barnes and Noble and all those different places because I feel that it's necessary. And I know God didn't give me everything that He gave me to put in this book for it just to go local. I'm just
mm.
believing God for global. I'm just believing God for something bigger because I believe every young girl need to see it. I believe every teenager need to, just read it. Even if they haven't been through nothing. But it also give you the standards. It also give you the thoughts and the ways to not become a victim.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna get a
Yes,
copy of
ma'am.
it. I'm gonna get
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
I'm going to pay for it, and I would like you to sign
Uh,
it for me.
oh,
So
yes, ma'am.
I'm just loving everything about you, Miss Bradford. I feel like, God connected us before, and now He's connected us again. So I know He's going to
Yes,
connect
ma'am.
us again, because God is just going to continue doing what God does. So
Yes, ma'am.
I really can't question any of that. So I'm just grateful to know you, girlfriend.
Thank you, and I'm grateful to have a friend like you. Um, your kindness, your heart, your smile, it goes a long way. It goes a long way because what people don't understand, with the scars, is that you can hold yourself together. With the
Hmm.
scars, hey, I've been through that, but I'm still here. With the
Yeah.
scars, God is still in the midst and He's still doing the work. So even with your scars, baby, you beautiful.
So are you,
With
girlfriend.
a heart of gold.
Mm.
And
I'm just
God got
doing
some things for you.
I'm accepting it. Whatever he has for
Yes.
me, I'm just staying steady and consistent and focused on positivity because girl, I was going through it a lot. I was going through it a lot. I could not understand why I kept repeating patterns in friendships
Amen.
and
Yes, ma'am.
I kept getting hurt. Although I thought I was doing good, I was a good person. I felt like I was a good person, but I was traumatized. I was trauma bonded to people, and I think there's a lot.
Amen. Same here. Yes, same here.
Yeah, a lot of people
Same
don't
here.
talk about that.
Right.
You,
And
you
in
can be
this season,
trauma
God has
bonded to
been,
some. Mhm.
yeah, and because in this season, God is showing me that, through the experiences, you bonded with a lot of people that really didn't mean you no good, but also a
Mhm.
lot of people took advantage
Yeah.
of what I've been through, took advantage of me wanting to have a great relationship with God, took advantage of me um not knowing who I was, took advantage of me not knowing um how to turn over a new leaf, took advantage of me not having a support system, took advantage of me not having the guidance,
Hmm.
took advantage of me not knowing what was next, but only
Yeah.
at the hands of their hidden agenda. So I'm
Hmm.
grateful that God done brought me out of it to where now it's just me and Him. And
Yeah.
I would rather, and I pray every day that He keeps me on this path, cause I have no lie to tell. Like I swear I'm scared to move out this wheel right now because it's just like it's like I can see like what He got for me is bigger, 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 bigger than what I can imagine. Even if I know I can't touch it, but I also know that there's vultures, and I also know that one wrong move on my part
Hmm.
will cause a domino effect of everything that I don't want, everything that I have come out of, all of the unhealthy patterns, all of the toxic relationship, all of the trauma bond. And that's not what I want. I just want to stay where God has me. But I want to do
Hmm.
His will with everything that He's called me to do. And I want to continue to just be on that path with me and Him, even if it means being alone. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Being comfortable in the silence.
Yeah.
I'm on the same I'm on the same track. I mean, we have two different like tracks, you and I. Like we're the
Uh,
same. We're on the same purpose, chasing God, following God's will, listening to him, understanding that people are just gonna disappoint and you need to focus on him,
right.
not the people. Um,
Right.
but I think what he has for you, I don't think that it's going to stray because you can't block God's blessing for you because you have a very
Mhm.
powerful testimony. I think if you are called to minister to young women, I think you should do it. If you are called to speak to the women in the detention center, I think you should do it. Um,
Yes.
because if God gave you the vision and he gave you the message, it's time, girlfriend. It's time. But ask for his perfect timing, and he will give you signs.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you
Because
for
girl, you got a
believing
powerful
in
message.
me. Thank you
I
so
believe
much.
in you, girl. I
And,
believe in
and,
a
and,
big God.
and thank you for, thank you for opening up a door for me to
Mhm.
be able to sit with you and be comfortable in my own skin and be able to
Mhm.
share the ugly parts of my
Mhm.
testimony with no shame,
Mhm.
with no um feeling of being extorted. You
Right.
know,
Mhm.
thank you for being a safe haven for me. Thank you
Girl,
for
I
listening
got
to my voice.
you.
I just want to hug you through this phone.
Mhm.
Amen. 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 I just thank God and that's my thing. Like in this season, like God has given me something that I never had. And that's a village
Mhm.
of sisters, a village of women just like me, a village of women that's chasing after God, chasing after healing, chasing after restoration, chasing after redemption, and chasing the love of Him and the
Mhm.
realness of Him and the intimacy of Him. And I tell you, the release to be in peace
Mhm.
is a powerful thing. And
It
so I
really
just feel
is.
like, you know what? Baby, can't nobody keep me chained to nothing. Keep me chained to no place because I don't live there no more. But why are you still there?
Mhm. Exactly. Why are we still there? Yeah. Why are some of us still living in the trauma that we're not
Right.
even living in anymore? It's in our heads.
Because
Big time.
I'm not who I got. I'm not what happened to me, but I'm who God says I am. So with me knowing that I know I'm a daughter of a king, that I know that I have a father that love is unwavering. I have a father that doesn't reject me. I have a father that doesn't, that lives through me, that talks with me, that walks with me, that doesn't judge me. Like, yes, that's the love. Like when your own parents can't even give it to you. You know,
Mhm.
when your own family can't even give it to you. That love of God give you the peace that surpasses all misunderstanding. So
That
I will
part.
take the misunderstanding. I will take the rejection. I will take all that. But I do know one thing. I serve a God that loves me in spite of any and everything I've been through, and that can't nobody, just like you said, can't stop what he has for me. And I'm just grateful to know that to be able to serve a God that doesn't judge, that redeems, that restores, and keep you even in those quiet nights, even in those silent tears, that is there and able to give you the peace and the comfort. I'm just thankful for that because that's nothing no man can do when it compares to a man like God.
That's
Nothing.
it.
And I'm just
Mm.
grateful.
I'm grateful for you, my
I'm grateful.
sister.
Thank
I
you
will
so
have
much.
You're very welcome. I will have to
Yes,
tell you
ma'am.
and our viewers, this concludes our episode for What's Up Dallas Season 7 with Miss Bradford. Please,
Yes,
please, please go follow her on social media. She is I Am Poetic Healing on YouTube and official Mirada underscore Bradford on Instagram. She does do podcasting. She does do speaking engagements. So please reach out to her. And
yes,
I
ma'am.
will come back with another episode very soon. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. And keep being the blessing that you are. Shine, my sister, shine.